Okay, it says I'm live. Hey Rob, how's it going? Am I live? Hello, anybody? Well, you know what I'm going to do then? I'm going to go to the gaming one, and I'm going to, let me move this so I can see what I'm doing, but still see the comments, and then, there, I can get that one that way, okay. And, yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's go over to here. Cushy, joint, freak. The Saturday is just getting started, so it's going okay, I think. What am I looking at here? Antic, A-N-T-I-C. Yeah, okay. And spine or swine, what is that going to be? Snuck is going to be that one, isn't it? Okay. How is the sound for everybody, by the way? Is it going to be okay for doing the stuff, I guess? Hey Tim, how are you doing? I'm going to say plum. Alright, I'm going to say it's spine, right? What is that, a mass maybe? And comma. And quail, I think, probably, huh? Yep. Throw. Hey, what do you know? All right. Wow, what's this? Lever? Hey, what do you know? All right. Oopsie daisy. I'm just going to go ahead and hit new game. There we go. Blank. Oh, here. Da-da-da-da-da. It's been fantastic. Ah, well, it's good to hear that you have got some closure on getting a settlement. That's good news. My week is, I don't know, it's going. I have one bit of confusion. I got a notification for doing jury duty starting next week. And here what we do is you call starting the Friday after 5 p.m. before the Monday you're supposed to report. And then they tell you whether you really have to come in or whether they have more people than they need, kind of a thing. And I have no way of knowing whether I'm supposed to show up or not because they didn't set up the stuff for having called this after Friday yesterday. Yesterday. It says, please call after Friday when you call the number. And it's like, I'm calling after Friday. Anyway, hello, Ben. How's it going? There's that story of my woe for jury duty, whatever. But other than that, my week is just, it has been what it has been. Past couple of weeks, anyway. Twice. I've only actually served once. I've been called a couple of times, but then I always get dismissed. I think because I'm a weirdo with a long beard, and they just go, we don't want him. Which is fine, I guess. I mean, if they don't want me, they don't want me. But I did serve once. It was an unusual case because it was a man and a woman, and they were suing each other over domestic violence. Because they beat each other up. And they were both guilty. It was insane. What have I got here now? is that one? Cover? Or it could be cower. Yeah, cower, coder. Oh man, what am I going to do? I'm going to say waged. That didn't get me anything, so... How many have I got? I don't have any more spare guesses. I've screwed up. Alright, so I think this first one is going to be adapt. Yes, okay. That one's going to be oddly. Okay, that one's going to be, I think, it could be corer or it could be comer. Yikes. Well, let's go down. That's going to be guppy, isn't it? And this one is going to be bugle, isn't it? Now, what's this one? Molt? Okay, I'm going to say it's corer. Yay for me. I'll see Tim. Wow, that's the tough thing about custody of children, you know. I mean, because there's no pat answer, right? I mean, every situation is going to have its own challenges. Is that going to be edict, maybe? Yep, okay. Dance? Is that what that one is? What do you know? Okay, here we go. Well, Jake, you are very welcome. I'm glad you like my stuff. It's good to hear that you appreciate it. That's what I do it for. So cool. You like what I make, and that makes me happy. So we're both good in a happy place for that. Well, anyway, welcome to the live stream. Glad you could make it. Hope you won't be disappointed in it, but it is what it is, and we are who we are. Let's say flood. Yep, there we go. And stake. Yep, okay. What is that one? So that, oh, it's a door, isn't it? Or our door, I mean, there we go. And what's that last one? What in the world? Okay. Truer? That's got to be what it is. Yeah, there we go. Oh, hang on. Tim, this time I'm not, just because I'm kind of in a bad mood, I suppose, so I don't really, but in the past I have looked forward to it. I mean, it's like, it's the thing we're supposed to do, right? You know what I mean? It's, part of the price to pay to have that kind of, at least theoretically, a reasonably free society. So, yeah, I'm okay with it. But, yeah, I mean, this time of year, though, because, Thanksgiving's coming up and all of that, and, holidays and things, I don't know, I'd just rather not be doing it. Wow, Felix, thank you very much. And I'm glad you could catch the stream, and thank you for your generosity. That's fantastic. It will go to good use, believe me. Mostly, making sure that I stay healthy and happy and all of that. So thank you. So 3 cheers for Felix, everybody. Thank you again. Man. Riven? Ripen? Oh, I'm not in a bad mood in general. I guess I shouldn't have said it that way. I'm just in a bad mood as far as like, dealing with anything to do with the government. You know what I mean? I just, just leave me alone. Let me have my life. You know what I mean? So I can hang out with my family or, do something like this or, I don't know. I'd rather not be doing jury duty at this particular time. That's about it, really. So, I am going to say ripen. Yay, what do you know? Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I don't know, something got in my eye. Okay. Yeah, burnout, right. Anyway, freak now. What am I going to do there? Is that chalk, maybe? All right, I'm going to try plum because Bernardo Kastrup. The name doesn't ring a bell, so no. I mean, I'll have to look him up or something, I guess. Tim doesn't mind jury duty. Yeah, it's one of those rough things, right? I mean, we need to make people do the jury duty thing, Tim, but yeah, it's it's that balance, right? You want to have people there, but you need to have people there that are willing to be there. Otherwise, you're going to get, you're risking kind of hinky results, right? What is that last one? Latch? Like that? There we go, okay. Hello, Dylan34. How are you this fine evening? I hope all is well. Okay. What salad? No, not salad. Well, if it's a hardship, even if you get called, they usually are pretty good about letting you off the hook if it's, going to be an issue, whether it's, time or financial or whatever. Because I've done that before too. Ensue, I think, is that one, isn't it? All right, so I got 3 left to do. Salsa? Yay, what do you know? Segway? S-E-G-U-E? Yeah, there you go. And Rouge is that last one. What do you know? Just for a change of pace, I think I'm going to go switch over to the sequence one. Okay, let's go to here, and let's go to there, and let's go to here like that. Okay, make sure I'm staying caught up. Wow, it's hard to hear. Sorry to hear about that, Dylan. I mean, yeah. Do you think it's maybe, what do they call it? The seasonal I don't remember the word for it, but it's like, the kind of around the winter time, a lot of different people, especially in the northern hemisphere, because of the our winter. I mean, I suppose they do it and have probably the same phenomenon in the southern hemisphere for their winter. I just never hear of it really. Maybe that's just due to population density and stuff. But I don't know whether yours is a seasonal thing or not. But anytime we're struggling with meaning like that is difficult. I mean, I don't want to make light of your situation or anything, but yeah, it's a rough thing. I mean, many of us have had issues in a similar nature. I mean, the key is, though, you have to find the meaning yourself. It's a rough thing, right? You're the one living the life. You're the one that has to find it. That's rough, but yeah, Felix. The ASMR version came out first just because it seemed to come together, easier. He's asking about the song "Sleeping Beauty" I just put out recently, and yes, because it was a song actually I wrote many years ago, like 25 years ago or something. And there's a few things I've been working on musically, and these things that are old kind of keep creeping back up in from my psyche. And it's like, all right, let's just purge them. So I'm trying to work on them and do them just to kind of get them kind of out of my system, so to speak. That song is kind of about, well, I don't know. I thought it was fairly just straightforward in what it's talking. It's just trying to understand the world and using stories and symbols and these things, and how all that works out, and what is all of those, what are those meanings, I guess, and then you can project what you need into it. That's kind of, I'll leave it at that, because I like to leave my stuff vague on purpose, so you can project your own things into it. But yeah, there will be a non-ASMR version that will go on my Three Monks in a Tub channel, and I think I'm just going to use the same visuals, so it'll just be, anyway, that'll take me a little bit of time just because it's, it's more difficult to play more serious music, I guess. Although it's not terribly serious. It's kind of a guitar, bass, piano kind of thing. I mean, it used to be guitar, bass, drums, but yeah, I don't know. I might not have drums in it this time. Maybe I will. Who knows? I'm still working on it, because I don't want it to be exactly like what it was 25 years ago. You know what I mean? So, getting reworked a lot. In any case, so I hope that answers your question. Anyway, let's see if I can catch up now. Yeah, they do the compensation thing. Yeah, for jury duty. Yeah. Yeah, that seasonal depression thing. Yeah. Oh, Catmanda, or is it Kate Manda? There will be more counting videos. I'm trying to do sort of where I cycle through things. So I'll do some gameplay videos, and I'll do a reading video, and then, like that kind of thing. So you'll probably get a counting video of some kind or another, or, just like a word list, or, something along those lines. I'll probably be getting one of those probably once a month, would be my guess. At least that's my hope. I'm going to try to, I've been trying to get to this every 3 days, put a video out kind of thing. And it's I don't know. It seems to be happening fairly okay, but I'm still kind of, well, whatever. I'll do as, oh, here, since we're talking more now, I can come back to this. Let's go over to the regular thing, where I can do that, because then I'll start with because I have the objects. I've got the chunk of wood, and I've got the craft brush. Oops, here we go. And I've got, of course, the jar. Yay. But anyway, I've kind of gotten behind on these comments, so let me see if I can catch kind of up. Magnesium and vitamin D. Yeah, that's absolutely, with vitamin D in particular, for me, that helps a lot. Tim, it's a combination of both of them. You know what I mean? It's just, I've just kind of, I've been oversaturated with all things governmental, and of course, yeah, the season, compounding it really. So it's kind of a complicated mess of the things. But yeah, you get the idea, I think. Thanks, Felix. I think, yeah, I'm glad that, the interaction with me in, other ways, adds insight. And yeah, that's kind of the thing. Well, I'm kind of a counterculture, hippie, punk rock, something or other, you know what I mean? And so I like the idea of things being kind of, I don't want them to be like on a pedestal or something. I want to write a song, but I want it to be there in the world. And, you can absolutely have your own interpretation, but if you want to ask me what I think, I can tell you what I think, but that doesn't mean that's what you should think. That's my perspective anyway. Um, but yeah, well, as you probably figured out, I will happily babble my point of view to anybody who's, willing to listen. Okay, yeah, you know what, Tim? We'll start doing that now. Oh yeah, the shirt is, my niece gave it to me. Um, so you can see, here, maybe if I turn around, you can see the back better. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's, my hair out of the way. I like it. It's bright colored and vibrant and, anyway, up. Well, good luck, Dylan. I hope you can get things into a satisfactory state for yourself. Just know that there's at least, some people, here in the community anyway that are pulling for you. So, that's a little bit of something there in the world, Yeah, there we go. Brushing the microphone. And let's go brush this microphone, shall we? Let me see if I can do the rubbing my belly and tapping my head thing, Anyway, when I talk over here and brush over there, I don't know why it's such a weird. Try to keep an eye on what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be too rough on either end of it, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's get over here. I'll try to do a little bit over here. Doing a little bit of brushing, doing some talking and babbling and maybe some whispering and the like. Over here, yippee-yi-yi-yi-yo. There we go. Talking into the microphone, brushing on the other one. Talking into the microphone, brushing on the other one, right? All right, let's leave that for a second. Let's do the cup. What? Well, thanks for that kind words, Tim. I hope it grows too, just because, I don't know. Well, I don't want it to get so large that it's unwieldy, you know what I mean? I like the idea that it has a community feel, so I don't want it to get super giant to the place that, like, nobody knows who anybody is kind of thing. That might be kind of a little sad. But I don't know. If it gets that big, we'll figure something out. Yes, Felix, absolutely. I think music can communicate things that can't be communicated with words. There's more to the world than what we can say with, symbolic language. You know what I mean? Like letters and numbers and words and phonemes and, that kind of thing. So it sounds to me like you already have a pretty good idea of what my perspective is on that. Well, one thing I'll do is I'll recommend a song called No Language in Our Lungs by a band called XTC. It's on their album Black Sea. That's a good album anyway. It just has a lot of it. I mean, it's kind of just pop. I don't know whether you want to call them power pop or something like that, but they're not, I don't know, they're not all that hard really, but they're very sort of, influenced by the Beatles and, that kind of thing. And just they're a very English band, you know what I mean? In the same way that the Beatles are a very English band. But yeah, they're a very intriguing band. A lot of interesting stuff going on there. But anyway, so that song is, it's essentially about that very topic, and I think they do a good job of dealing with it. What am I hoping to get for Christmas? Holy mackerel, let me think about that. Usually I get some standard stuff that I typically get is I'll probably get a graphic t-shirt. My sister or one of my nieces tend to get me a graphic t-shirt every year, which is fine because, I get them, well, they wear out about as fast as I get them to replace them, you know what I mean? So it's kind of a good cycle. Sorry about that, I didn't mean to burst out laughing. I hope it wasn't too loud. What else would I like to get for Christmas? I don't know, I'm pretty, the material things that I want aren't things that I can really ask people for Christmas, you know what I mean? Like, I'd love to have, more guitars, just because, I'd love to be able to have a whole collection of Rickenbackers, but, that's not going to happen anytime soon. And then, of course, I'd like to get, I want to get a new camera for, doing these things, because the one I've got is, I bought to do the channel, so it's like, I probably bought it in 2012 or something like that. I know I first started on a little laptop thing that I had, but then I moved pretty much to the desktop pretty quickly. But anyway, so, it is what it is. It's not that great. I'd like to have, a different one. And I'd also like to get, better cameras for portable stuff than the little camcorders I have, and, stuff like that. And I got some more lights to do for the green screen, so I'm hoping I'll get better at that. So I'll maybe do a few more of those things. I want to do more with it, but right now the results I'm getting, well, you've seen what I've gotten so far. They're kind of eh, and I'd like to, be able to do a little bit better. Basically, what it comes down to is I have to get better at doing the lighting of the green screen versus the lighting of me, and so that they can, so that their scene is different, right, as far as the camera and the computer are concerned. But anyway, I'll get it down sooner or later. But yeah, so I don't know. What else would I want? It used to be a good bet was to get me like CDs or records, but I don't have a CD player or a record player anymore, so that's not the best idea. Books, I suppose, although I haven't been reading lately. Yeah, I don't know. I have to add, I don't know, something odd, I don't know, just some weird object that I wouldn't think of, I don't know, surprise me with something. That's what I tell my relatives, right? I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably get a graphic tee and, I don't know, who knows, maybe a board game or something like that. Anyway, let's move on with that. Okay, as you guys kind of talking amongst yourselves, I will, I'm going to go back and finish this game that I have here. All right, so now, is that going to be coral? Yeah, okay. Stone. What does my dad usually like for Christmas? Things like slippers and gloves and little throw blankets and anything to do with, being warm and cozy. He likes that kind of stuff. Books, he's also he's a pretty avid reader. But otherwise he's similar to me. He's not really all that, there's not a whole lot of material things he's after at this point. A personal question. Felix, yeah, that's the thing that's going to be an ongoing struggle of mine to deal with. It's a sort of habit I've developed over many years of just being sort of, self-deprecation can, it could be okay to a degree, maybe even humorous and lighthearted in a way, but yeah, after a while it gets just kind of tiresome, doesn't it? So yeah, that's the thing that I'm trying to be mindful of still. But that's not going to be anything that will have an answer that will be finished. That's going to be one of those things that I just have to work on, as my life goes on. Yeah, yeah, cozy blankets, yeah, right on. I don't know. What is that going to be? I don't see. Keenly, Kibi, Wiki, Geeky? That's probably what it is, isn't it? Geeky. There we go. Man, I just couldn't see that. There we go. So giant. And then coily. Sleep. And error. Okay. All right, I'll do one of these and then I'll come back and do some more brushing or tapping or something. Oh, you know what I have to do? I haven't done it yet, and it's been plenty on here. It's time to start the timer off. Yep, all right. Okay. So back to here now, cushy joint. Freak. You know, I might think about going back to school, depending on, certain circumstances. Because I did like school. I liked the social aspect of it. And I liked the idea of just being able to, go talk to people who are, experts in a thing and learn stuff from them, I mean, it's pretty cool. I would like to see a world where, it was expected that humans would come in and out of, doing official sort of formal education, that, we would be encouraged to be doing that sort of thing, throughout our lives for, whatever reason, whether it's to do with career or just curiosity or, I don't know, I think that would be a better thing. Tense? Okay. Tim, I don't know. I mean, I might try to go back and pursue some more math, possibly. There might, I don't know. I liked when I took some courses in the classics as part of my upper division, what they call segment 3 at San Francisco State, so you can make sure that you're broadly educated, right? And so I took, what was it called? Folklore and myth, I think, is what the segment was called. So all the courses had to do with like folklore and myth. So I took a course in the classics, like the Iliad, the Odyssey. What did we do? We did the Iliad, we did the Odyssey, we did the Aeneid, and we did the Argonautica. And then, of course, a few other shorter things that were we found he had resources at the library for us to do because they were just short, small things. But that was a lot of reading for a semester, at least for me. And I like, I took another course in Celtic Lit that was part of the same thing. And then I took a linguistics thing that was part of the same thing. I like that kind of stuff. I don't know, just, general curiosity of stuff. I wish I knew more about art history and that kind of thing. What am I doing here? Troll. Nope. Tramp. Oops. There we go. Okay, hang on. There's some. Hello, Kurt. How's it going? Welcome back. Hope you have a good time. Right now I'm just doing a little bit of game playing and some babbling at the occasional question. Well, thanks for stopping by, Felix. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you had a good time and all of that. And we'll hope to see you next time, man. Take care. Yeah, I'd happily go to school in another country if I could, if all the logistics, money and a place to stay and all that kind of stuff could be taken care of. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what would be the thing, that would, get me there to be able to do it, but I'd love to do any kind of studying that had to do with the Alhambra over in Spain. That building is, I've only seen things on it, like films and documentary things, and that's just incredible, just insane. And I can imagine just, I don't know, just picking a country and going there and like, what would be a good thing to take? I don't know, who do they have there that, first of all, like try to learn the language, of course. And then whatever institution you're at, who do they have a specialist in that would be suitable to, for me to take from? I don't know. Well, I'm glad you did stop by, Colonel. It is a nice thing to have people come by. What is this? Quota? Is that it? Yeah, there we go, finally. Buses, maybe? No, bust, probably. There we go. And abhor. And pedal. And probably bribe, I guess. And then ask God. Okay, that's enough of that for a minute. Let's go back over here. Let's do back to here. And that's all fine. Okay, UPIA. Now I guess what I'll do is I'll brush on some end grain and do some tapping on the, hang on, there's more comments being made. Oh, well, it's too bad you wouldn't have been able to do the career there. What would be your field of choice, if you don't mind my being so nosy? Oh, how is the sound for everybody? Because I just realized I've been running this little space heater down here, kind of blowing at my feet and legs, and I don't know if it's making enough noise that it's bothering you guys. I can turn it off, because it's actually not that cold. I'm going to turn it off anyway, because it's not that cold here anymore. There we go. That's got to be quieter. You sold the Porsche. Did you get a good price for it? Oh, wow. How about your choice of career? And there's no chance you could revive that as an idea to pursue? I mean, if you feel strongly about it, I think you understand, or at least have been exposed to my perspective, my atheism, but I'm not anti-theist. if you have an understanding of the world that involves a sense of a deity and you have a calling to help others who have a similar understanding, then, well, whatever. I hope you can find some kind of, something in the world that'll help you balance those kinds of desires and find some kind of function in the world too, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, frankly. I mean, I'm just a guy, man, who says some stuff online. Should, take it all with a grain of salt, as they say, yeah. Wow, okay. In Croatia. Wow, all right. If they're... Look, if somebody wants to buy the thing, sell them the thing, I mean... Are you okay about having sold it? Or is it something you would have preferred not to have done? Personally, as much as I admire automobiles from, their standpoint of, the very tricky engineering and all of that, the fact that they're just everywhere and such a horrible contribution to, pollution, etc. I've kind of turned into a pedestrian. Well, not kind of. I think I've mentioned that before, but so I mostly walk, or I'll use like a bike or public transportation kind of thing. I mean, I will ride in cars, but that's not, it's like my last choice, basically. But like if my, say, family members are going to a particular place together, right, it's like, then it makes sense for me to go in the car with them too, you know what I mean? So stuff like that I'll do. But otherwise, if I'm just going like to an appointment or, just, me having to go run some errand or something like that, I just, So for me personally, as much as I might like to have a fancy, sporty car, it just doesn't suit with, where my life is at this point. So I would have sold it as well, but, that's just me. And again, take any of the stuff I say with a grain of salt. And I really like this with the brush on the end grain. I don't know what it is. Oops, there's some pooches barking. Doing the brushing of the wood. Oops, don't bang the thing, Bill. Well, something's got them excited. They're running around, barking a bit. Well, let me do a little bit of tapping here. Wow, there's something going on upstairs. Anyway, I kind of like this too. Dylan, that sort of experience thing is a pretty common catch-22, isn't it? I'm sorry to hear about that, Dylan. That's too bad. Well, hopefully, the world will change enough in some small way wherever you are, and something will change and your fortunes will improve from your perspective and desires, yeah? Does anybody else like this? Hey, over there, how's it going? And you're welcome, Dylan. I hope, that we were able to, offer you some sort of support and kindness that, is useful. Okay, let's do that. I'll probably tap it with my fingers a little bit later, but I really like that. Just tap, tap, tap with this handle there. Anyway, I like this too a lot. When was the last time I had my driver's license? When I was 40. Actually, just as I was turning 40. And I'm 59 now, so it's been a while. Tennis ball bouncing, interesting. I don't have any tennis balls, otherwise I'd give it a go in here, because I'm, the space I've kind of carved out here for myself is it has a concrete floor, so. I don't know if I've ever done it with my left hand. I don't think I have. It's a little awkward. I don't think I do it as steadily. It's a weird thing, because you'd think I'd do it better, because this is my fingering hand on the guitar, you know what I mean? So I do a fair amount of wiggles. Like, well, I guess it's different though, isn't it? It's not just haphazard wiggling. So doing haphazard wiggling like this feels really weirdly awkward. But I'm also right-handed, so maybe that's what it's about. I don't know. Yeah, I'll go back to doing it this way. What does my family think of that? They're very supportive of it, just because that's the kind of family I have. Everybody's pretty supportful of each other. It doesn't really matter what's going on. We try to, just be supportive of each other. And like my dad, he listened to the song Sleeping Beauty, and he found it pleasant. He thought it was kind of interesting and cool, I guess, from that standpoint. Although, it's hard to say, how objective he's being. He might be just liking what I make because he's, I'm his son. But I don't think nobody in my family gets tingles. They're not, I don't even know if they listen to ASMR just for, relaxation or, sleep aid, kind of thing. The only reason they know about it really is, just because of me. Every once in a while people will see a thing on the news or something, where they talk about, ASMR, that, I guess we're less of a novelty than we used to be, because it seems like I see that stuff less, but, anyway. Let's see, what's here, comment. Well, Dylan, just have to do the discipline thing, tell yourself that you're taking it like it just, well, I had to, I take pills every day because of depression, which, my depression is pretty horrible. And then I have a mood disorder, and then I take pain pills for my spine because I have degenerative discs. So, yeah, so I have to eat pills every day. It's not a whole bunch, but, it's just the 3 different ones. But if it's, if you need it, man, you need it. You just have to figure out how to make it happen. You'll figure it out, man. Just get it in your mind that you need to take care of yourself, right? I don't think I'm going to cut the beard off at this point, Jim. I mean, it would have to be very extraordinary circumstances. It would, why I would cut off my beard, It's kind of just become, I don't know, I kind of just see it as, that physical manifestation of myself at this point in my life, you know what I mean? I don't know, maybe it'll change at some point, but there's the thing. I reserve the right to change my mind about anything at any given time, depending on the information that I obtain about whatever it is. And I think, we should all do that, man. We should be able to change our minds. If you get new information, you shouldn't have to be stuck with something. Anyway, that's what I say. I've tried over there that sort of thing. I honestly think that, because, now that I'm on pills, it's a gazillion times better. I think it really is just that my brain needed something different. And also, part of it is also for the mood disorder is, that's also changed my perspective on the world a good deal as well. I wish that, as a culture, that we were more open to people being able to, if you need, a pharmaceutical mitigation for some kind of mental health issue, then obtain it, If having a talk therapy thing is better for you, or some other sort of, if a nutrition thing can take care, whatever it is, we're just not very supportive of people pursuing those things. It's beginning to change. It seems to me like it's maybe beginning to change a little bit, but it's I decided a while back on my streams here that I would answer those types of questions and speak about those types of things honestly. Like I'm also honest about my, alcoholism, I don't really want to turn this into a channel about that stuff, but, I don't know. I think there's value in being open about these things and acknowledging them as struggles and challenges. If nothing else, we can, commiserate when it's useful to us. But I think it helps us all if we can all just be a little more understanding that it happens, and everybody's world is a little bit different. Anyway, Curl said that. Well, I hope to see you next time too, Curl. And wow, you seem to have a thing for sports cars, man. But hey, if that's your scene, man, then just don't harm yourself and that sort of thing. Yeah, I think that part of my alcoholism was certainly about self-medication. Quite liking missed. Hey Neil, how's it going, man? Yeah, you haven't been around in a minute, have you? Well, I'm glad you could make it. And we still got an hour and some minutes left too, so it's not like you're showing up at the last minute. BMW, right on. McLaren, Lamborghini. I have to admit the cars that I was, most excited about, like when I was a kid, were Porsches. I mean, I kind of got hooked by the old air-cooled ones. And I actually prefer those old ones. There's just something about them that I find really kind of exciting. Now you're fine, Neil. All right, that's enough tapping for now. Maybe I'll do a little bit more brushing of the microphones, and babbling a little bit into the microphone as I brush the microphone, like that. Try to keep an eye on the comments. Over there, yeah, interpersonal relationships can be very powerful when it comes to dealing with any kind of problem like that. I'm glad that you were able to find a situation like that for yourself. That's fantastic. And you're right, not everybody's going to have the same situation as you, but not everybody's going to need the same solution as you as well either. But it's good that you're mindful of that and have some appreciation for it. I think that makes for a better world when we can kind of cultivate a bit of gratitude, I mean, I don't always necessarily succeed in all the virtuous things I believe maybe humans should be doing, but I think there's still value in attempting to, hold some of these things up as goals and work them into our lives. Advocating agape, man. That was nice. 3 Series, okay. Yeah, those would be a lot of fun, wouldn't they? As far as BMWs, one car I always found very, very attractive, and it seemed like it would be fun to drive too, although I never had the opportunity, were those the old, like 2002, and there's another one that I really liked too. I think it was called like the Bavaria or something like that. I found that very intriguing looking too, but I really liked those little ones. And I don't remember the model designation, but there was a little 2-seater convertible that they made in the late 50s, early 60s. That was pretty exciting. See, I have most of the stuff I like is older, nostalgic stuff. Well, just a point of trivia, the car I learned to drive on was my mom's 65 Mustang, the 289 with 3-speed on the floor. That was a fun car to drive. You could wind that up pretty high in second gear. And a 289 is, plenty of oomph, especially for a car that size. Of course, Mustangs, especially those 60s ones, aren't the best at handling. But they're more than adequate for most roads here in the United States. Now, if you're going to do mountain roads, then yeah, that's when you wish you had a Porsche. I remember one year when I was still married many years ago, I used to own a VW bus, an old 71. Anyway, we took it on a trip up the coast, and we drove up the really windy road on the very coast of California. It's a beautiful, beautiful road, and you see just stunning scenery. I mean, the kind of which you don't see anywhere else, you know what I mean? It's really, really amazing stuff. But in a VW bus that was slow going, I kept on having to use the turnouts, because I kept on getting more than 5 people behind me. You're not supposed to, if you have more than 5 people behind you, you're supposed to turn out and let them pass. I spent a lot of time doing that just because, a VW bus is not a very speedy, sporty handling vehicle. But it was a fun trip nonetheless. It was a pretty fun trip. Anyway, I think I got some comments to deal with here. Well, I think that's a good way of taking things over there. I mean, I try to maintain a similar sort of perspective myself. So, I think that's pretty fantastic that you can, at least take it on as what you do in the world and how you view it. My favorite car I've ever owned. Probably that bus. I haven't really owned that many cars. Let's see, I owned a little Datsun, little 1200, the little coupe version, not the convertible one. That was a fun car to drive. I mean, it was zippy because it was so small, but it had no top end at all, but you could zip around town pretty easily in it. And then I had a Squareback for a while. And then my wife ended up having that car, and then I got the bus. And then after that, the only other car I owned was a Toyota truck. So I owned that bus for like years. I really, really liked that car. I kind of wish I hadn't gotten rid of it, but well, whatever. We all do what we do. Let's see where we're at here. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Neil. Yeah, I'm kind of, well, I don't know, if I'm going to try to make this be an actual thing for real, then I need to be, so I'm trying to stick to a every 3 day schedule. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to see if I can keep that going and then slowly build up activity on my other channels. That's kind of what I've been trying to work on. Anyway, yeah, we'll see. That's cool. I'm glad you like that, Cape Manda. Black MG. Yeah, that would be a fun little car to take around. Well, any kind of little convertible, I think, could be fun. Chevy Corsica. Drooping headliner, yeah. Holy mackerel. Let's see, we're doing, yeah, this is the free sequence version here, so, okay. Unlit, maybe. Here we go. I don't know what is that going to be? Helper. No. Something. Waiter, maybe. Wager. Eager. Yeah. Do I have enough left? Yeah. Okay. Jelly. Motor. Rotor, I guess. What is this? Oh, I'll like that, okay. And alpha. And what is this here? Going to be AL. Alert, isn't it? Yep, okay. Yikes. All right, let me see much. Wow, I think that's fine if you haven't owned a car, man. I mean, they're expensive, both for the physical car itself, then insurance and, upkeep and fuel and the whole thing. They're just really expensive. What stuff, maybe? Incur. Philly, maybe? No, filmy. Oops. There we go. Hyena. Diary. What is this now? Piety. Or, no, yeah, piety. Oops, piety. There we go. And saucy. And stork. BIA. Huh. All right, cool. Chevy Malibu, huh? Ratio. Dodge, maybe? Oops. Dude, come on now. Lodge, podge, modge. Yeah, I'll say lodge. Let's just see. There we go. Avail. Nope. Axial. Grunt. Cheat. What is this? Let me see if something. Okay, no new comments. What in the world? What am I not seeing here? Wheeled? There we go. Remit. No, I doesn't go there. I goes up here. Oh, rivet. There we go. And I don't know, linen. What do you know? What is the timer saying? Okay. Do a couple more of these. Have I ever owned a motorcycle? No, I've never owned a motorcycle. Wow, 6 a.m. and you're still not to sleep. Flacked out, am I saying that even close to right? Man, I feel for you, buddy. Hey, the Wizard Tuesday. Hi, thank you very much. That's super generous. I appreciate that. I mean, yeah, I get kind of, I don't know, emotional when you guys are nice. It's, you know, that's a good thing, I guess, yeah. Anyways, thank you very much. Everybody, 3 cheers for the Wizard Tuesday, for being a cool guy and generous and all that. Plum, I guess. Cabby? Yeah, I skateboarded in the 70s. Oh, as a matter of fact, here, I think I've showed this before, but where is it at? It's behind it. It's behind the sheet. If I can grab it here without too much hassle. I found this going through some of my stuff. This was my first decent deck, which I got back in, I think, 76. It's a Gordon & Smith Fiberflex, so it's plywood and fiberglass made into a little sandwich. Anyway, I think I'm going to put new trucks and wheels on it, and I mean, I'm not going to be doing any tricks or anything on it, but you know, it might be kind of fun to just, I don't know. Well, you know, my floor in here is concrete, right? I could just ride it around in here. And I'm doing pretty well, the Wizard Tuesday. But back to the skateboarding thing, yeah. And then I got into, I had a West Humston Dogtown with some independent trucks and various wheels, and yeah, I was very into it. Even to the place where there was a motel not too far from here that they drained their pool for maintenance, and me and some buddies we got into trouble for sneaking into their pool and skating it while they had it drained. Because otherwise we were stuck with, you know, trying to build our own ramps and stuff, because the park, it was, where was it? It was like Manteca or someplace like that. It wasn't that close to here. But yeah, no, I was very, very into the whole skateboarding thing. I wasn't very good at tricks, but I liked, you know, just, you know, riding it for the thrill and speed and excitement and whatever. I mean, I could do ride on ramps and that kind of thing and whatnot, but I was never very good at all the ollie tricks and that kind of thing. I just wasn't that good at it. Anyway, what am I doing here now? Back to, now we've had a minor amount of show and tell. You know what I'll do is when I get around to putting it together, I'll make a video of, you know, after I get the hardware and the trucks and the wheels and all the stuff and put it together. Oh, one in binary. You know, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing that now that you've mentioned it. It'll end up in my head now. That would be funny, huh? Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll have to figure out something. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Probably not for, like, immediately, but yeah, I'll end up doing that. Yeah, thank you. That was a good suggestion. Flora, yeah. Maple. Crime. Stony. Blair. What is this? Occur. There we go. Yeah, let's do a couple more of these, I guess. I can kind of just fall into this sort of trance when I play this game. Like you'll probably have noticed there's times I'll just be kind of just zoned out for a second. So I can't. What am I doing here? What is this going to be? Nope, that's not how you spell it. All right, so it's not that. Hey, thanks, James. Thanks for coming by. I have 2 monitors, and I don't know. They're not terribly expensive. They weren't fancy. I mean, they were just basic monitors. But I have them, and they'll do 4K. They're about. I mean, I guess they're both about. Yeah, they're both about like that big. There's like one there, and then one there, and I do it so that way I can. Well, I think it makes sense, right? I can have stuff there, and then I have output, like so when I'm editing either music or videos or whatever, I have I don't know. Anyway, so that's what I do. Yeah, but they're pretty basic, inexpensive, straightforward. Budget, I guess, budget friendly. Wince maybe. Hey, what do you know? Scrap. Modal. And inner. Triad, yeah. Scout. Hydro. Oops. And Tardy. Yippee-yay. I can't see what we got going on here. I've had this one for, I want to say like 2 years now, a little more than 2 years. I tend to, well, back when I was doing the computer programming thing, I upgraded all the time. Well, because you kind of need to, right, to keep, pace with what's happening. Especially because some of the stuff I did was for development stuff, and so I needed to have something that was, suitable platform to actually run the software. But after that, I kind of slowed down, and I only upgrade when, the machine won't do what I want it to do anymore. You know what I mean? Either stuff's improved, so I was like, oh crap, it hasn't kept up. Or maybe it just, got, like the last one that I replaced, well, twofold. One, it was getting old, and 2, it was a Windows machine, and I just got fed up with Microsoft and their intrusive nature about the way they, run their operating system. It's just ridiculous. So now I'm, on Linux again, which I'm much, much happier about. And yeah, anyway, so I'll use it for, I don't know, I can imagine I could probably keep using this for a couple of years still. Anyway, let me see if there's more comments going. Thank you, Collection Unlimited. I appreciate the kind words. That means a lot to me. It's good to know that you guys dig what I'm doing, because otherwise I'm just a, an eccentric weirdo. Well, I am that anyway, but, it's nice to know that the stuff is, enjoyed by people. Cavill, maybe? No. Claim. I don't know. There we go. 6th. Oops. There we go. Rinse. Alum. Is that right? Nope. what do I reckon consciousness is? I've been having this kind of weird pseudoscience-y idea that I roll around in my head a lot, which I find appealing, but again, it's kind of a pseudoscience-y idea. I have no way of, pointing to any kind of falsification. But I kind of have this idea that consciousness is a field, and the reason we all have individual consciousnesses has to do with the way our, whatever this brain thing is, interacts with that field. That's what I think. You know what I mean? Although, again, this is silliness that I've just kind of come up with. But, I don't see, there's the thing. It could be one of those questions that we just can't know, What is this going to be? Tower, maybe? There we go. Okay. What is this? A gate? Is that a word? I guess so. Crack, I guess, yeah. And F-R-O-Z-E, froze. Yeah, what do you know? Anyway, I hope, Wizard Tuesday, I hope that was a sufficiently interesting answer. I don't know how useful it is to anybody else, but it amuses me. What am I not seeing there? Could be white. Let's try that, I guess. What do you know? Kiosk. Shaky. Relay. Nope, repay maybe. Sugar. Shame, I guess. And super, yay. And fence. Okay. All right, here we go. What do I think about the UFO thing? Yeah, that's, yeah. Continuum spectrum. That's kind of why I like the idea of field, right? Because a field is, well, yeah. A field is like, I don't know, how many things could you really apply a concept of continuity to? I think you can with a field, but, since matter is discrete, as, when we have like the little chemical units of it, I don't know, but something that's more, when I say continuity, I mean like in the mathematical sense, continuity. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, that spectrum thing is a very interesting idea. What do I think about the UFO things? I am not sure what to make of that at all. You know what I mean? On one hand, you have these scientists who are very serious scientists who are saying that there's no evidence of any kind for there, to be extraterrestrial life, and they're looking for it. And then there are other people who have instances of stuff that they're claiming is evidence of it. And then you have our government, which is, the only thing I can figure is that they're playing a misinformation game about something, whether it's to do with, defense technology or weaponry or whatever, I don't know. Or maybe it really is aliens. Although it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, frankly. If there are aliens, then they're screwing up the way that they're dealing with it. And if there aren't aliens, they're screwing up with the way they're dealing with it. You know what I mean? It's just, come on now. Yeah, that's kind of why I kind of like you're kind of following right into what I was thinking there, the Wizard Tuesday. Plum. Now, what is this going to be? Gooey? jelly. Oh, here we go. Isn't this somebody having a joke? Gooey jelly. What's this one going to be then? Renal? No. Learn. There you go. Hey, Lego J Studios. Change my perspective on life and how I approach some things. You know, I suppose it probably will, just because. Let's make it be turbo. I mean, because it's, you know, on one hand, it's kind of a fun thing to think about life being out there, like from a sci-fi perspective. And I've always been a big fan of sci-fi ever since I was a kid. But that's thinking about it in a weird way that's, you know, only a possibility. You know what I mean? It's not really. So I think it would change my perspective. How it would change it specifically, I'm not sure I can give a strong answer to that. I don't think it would alter how I view, as far as like atheism and this sort of thing. Although, I don't know. It would depend on what they show up to have to say. I don't know. I'd have to wait and see. But I imagine it probably would be pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Change of consciousness, but that's not really paradigm shifting, I guess is what I was trying to think of. Because that would certainly be very paradigm shifting. Am I caught up now? You believed in them until the government started talking about them. Yeah, see, that's the thing, because it's the way they talk about them, and I don't know. Yeah, it's a frustrating thing. I think a lot of times the people that are in our government aren't adequately educated about scientific stuff. So when they have to actually deal with people who are talking about scientific things, I think they're in way over their head. And it kind of depresses me that there's no better way of handling that. Or at least we don't have one yet. But anyway. Yeah, it's my understanding that, well, at least, what they will say, the cover story for Area 51 is that it's to do with high secretive, high-end stuff, right? Stuff that they don't want anybody else to know about, which is why they're super secretive about it, which would make sense if you're trying to make cool, tricky stuff to either, attack your enemies or defend your enemies. You don't want them to know what you're doing, right? You want to keep that stuff as sacred or secret as you can, right? I don't know. Biddy, baby, holy mackerel. There we go. Tonic. Exact. Exalt, that's funny. Grave, I guess. No. Graves, jeez. This is going to be segue again, isn't it? And merge. And science. Okay, let me switch over to the scene thing for a minute and check on the comments. Yeah, nasal penny, that's true enough. I mean, as best we can tell with, looking out with telescopes and the like, it's like, it's the numbers that are necessary to use to talk about what at least what we think the size of the universe is just, well, astronomical, literally, right? That's why they came up with that term, because those numbers are just super ginormous. Okay, so let's do a little bit of, where are we at time-wise? Half hour left, okay. Let's do a little bit of brushing. Doing some brushing on the microphones. Doing some brushing on the microphones. brushing on the microphone and babbling about stuff while I'm brushing on the microphones. Nothing terribly intelligent or meaningful, but just babbling while I'm brushing on the microphones. Babbling and brushing and brushing and babbling. Oops, got a comment. Right, he couldn't say if he did, right? Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, I always figured what they were testing out there were probably like, super advanced jets and rockets and, stuff that's, faster, farther, that kind of thing, But, I don't know. Maybe there's, freaky stuff, little green men and the whole thing, I haven't been doing much babbling, have I? Just a lot of brushing. There's a pooch running around upstairs. I can hear their nails on the wood floor upstairs. Little critters. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured, Tim. That's, that's the thing that seems to make the most sense. At least to me, But what do I know? In the vast expanses of space, what's the Shakespeare line? There's more than what is thought of in your philosophy, Horatio. I think I need to come up with something for Christmas. Like I just did the Telltale Heart for Halloween. So I don't know, maybe I'll find a Christmas story. Or last year I think I did Christmas carols or something like that, didn't I? Or was that the year before that? I don't know. I always feel like I should do something around, specific holidays just because, they're so kind of emblematic in our society that, it just seems like a fun and kind of okay thing to do as far as, media production. Seems like people like that kind of thing. Well, when I was a kid, man, I used to love when it got to be holiday time because there'd be all the various cartoons would come out, like, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman and, of course, the Peanuts Christmas, which was the same thing every year, but every year you wanted to watch it, right? That's kind of, I don't know, at least for me. But all of us were that way. 70s kids, right? Being born in 65, so I was, from 5 to 15 during the 70s. Anyway. Yeah, I think it would be cool if, you know, somehow at some point in time we did, if there were aliens, and we did interact with them, but, you know, given the state of, you know, our society and the individuals who currently have, you know, the most control over resources and how they're allocated and all of that, you know, I don't know. I guess it would depend on the kind of culture that the aliens represented. You know, you'd like to think that if they got so technologically advanced that they could cross galaxies and that kind of thing, that, you know, I don't know, that they'd not be, you know, bloodthirsty wanting to come here and eat us or something like that, you know what I mean? But you never know. I mean, what would I say to an alien bill? You know, I don't know. That'd be an interesting thing. I mean, how close to me would he be, you know? I mean, as far as like my perspective and stuff, are we talking about, you know, their version of the kind of screwball counterculture, hippie punk rock something or other, whatever the hell it is that you want to use to describe me? I don't know, do they have any of those over there, you know? You know, if that was the case, I'd probably just go, dude. You know what I mean? You know, I could just see us both, you know, like holding each other, you know, a bag out and go, hey, you want to try some alien weed? You know what I mean? You know, I don't know the details about Bob Lazar's stuff, but I have seen him, you know, pop his head in and out of various, you know, media outlets. Like, I'm pretty sure that he was on Joe Rogan at least once. And I used to occasionally watch Joe Rogan here and there before I just kind of got you know, the truth is I started losing interest in Joe Rogan after I gave up drinking. You know what I mean? I just didn't find him as funny anymore, and so I don't know. I mean, that he was not the only one that happened with, right? There's just my tastes and things changed a lot after I gave up booze. At least as far as like movies and comedy and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, his story is interesting, but, you know, there's the thing. It's like, I don't know that I've seen enough stuff that makes me think that it's anything other than a story, you know? Okay, let's move on to what are we going to do next? You know, let's do a little bit more tapping on the wood. Well, thanks, Tim. Something with the jar here. Hi, Logan. I am assuming that you're thinking of McKenna's ideas about like Stone Monkey and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I've listened to a bunch of his. I've never read any of his stuff, but I've listened to a bunch of his lectures. There's tons of them here on YouTube, actually. But I remember listening to some of his stuff on tape, way back when. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of the people that I used to hang out with, as you might imagine, were into like, Castaneda and Leary and, any of that kind of stuff. So, of course, Terence McKenna got lumped in with all that stuff, too. I think it's an interesting idea. I don't know how you would, I don't know, it seems like a difficult thing to falsify and go test. Yeah, I do, Tim. I've had them since I was a kid. Yeah, they kind of come in and out of my vision. Sometimes I can just ignore them, and they just don't seem to register. But other times they are aggravating. Fingers starting to get a little tired from doing that. I didn't look that up. Nick Land and the Dark Enlightenment. I know I put it on the list of stuff to do. I just haven't had time to get around to looking at that list. I'm so bad at time management. So I apologize, but no, I haven't looked at it. Anyway, so I'm going to go back and play a little bit more. I think I'm going to go play just the regular version rather than the sequence version. There we go. Okay. Frond, maybe? I think that one is going to be churn, isn't it? I think that one's going to be mucus. They use that word quite a bit. And what is that one? E something AR. What am I not seeing? I'm just not seeing that. All right, well, let me look at the other one and maybe it'll... So, early, I think, is that one. So what's this one? I would say cedar, but there's no C in it. Well, let's go look over here. What is this? This is spilt. No. Stilt. Yikes. So I've only got one left to get that one. What's it going to be here? Oh, deep R, isn't it? Yep, there we go. I'll try to remember to look it up, crummy VCR. But as you've seen, I can get flaky. Scarf, I think, is that one over there. Snore, probably. And Leary, Deary, not sure about that one. Have I enjoyed playing Scrabble over the years? You know, I mean, it's okay. It's not, I mean, I've played it because other people like to play it, and I say, hey, you want to play Scrabble? And I'll say, yeah, but, you know, I mean, it's not anything I would suggest, you know. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I can take it or leave it. Hotel, maybe. Here we go. What is that one at the end? I don't know. I'm going to say Deary for that one. Nope. What else is it going to be? Weary? Do I have enough? 5 to get 4? Yeah, that's okay. I should be alright if I can. Oh, fudge is that one, isn't it? And alright. Bulge is that one. Okay, now what's down here on the end? Kebab, isn't it? That's funny. Is my live streaming scheduled? Yeah, I do it every other Saturday at 8. So, yeah. So let's see, today is, oh, I guess I should talk about when the next one's going to be, right? So the next one will be, looks like it'll be December 7th. Yeah, December 7th will be the next live stream. And I usually try to schedule them like, you know, a few days after this one, you know what I mean? So it's, I'm not sure what the prime scheduling in advance time is for YouTube yet, whether it's, better to do it way in advance or just a week in advance, or I haven't really figured it out, and I don't know. Cool, thank you. Excuse me. Yeah, I'll do another couple of these, I guess, and then I'll wind down with some brushing or something. Foist, chore, doing, going, what's that one going to be? Let me go ahead and say plum, just because I need more letters. Let's see. Pupil. Roomba. No, Umbra. I should have seen that already. Jeez. What do we have here? Yeah, I am thinking about it, Reclaimer Rob. I just haven't committed to a date yet, so it's, yeah, so it's still in the kind of maybe, probably sometime, but, just not immediately. Timer maybe on the end over there. Nope. I should have seen that too. Man, my brain is. So I've got 3 to get 4. All right, this one's not going to go anywhere. So let's just. We got that one. I only have 2 left. Meter, and what's. I was going to say something like glean, but I don't have the G. Huh. I don't see what it is. I don't see what either one of them is. That is rare. Nope, not like Allen Ranch or something like that. Naval? Nope. Yikes. All right, we'll do one more and that'll be the end of that. All right, that's that one. Throw, I think, probably, yeah. Snake. Yeah, there goes the dogs. And Shyly. And Locus. And what's this one going to be? Llama. Oh, there we go. That's enough of that. All right. Oh, sorry about that, Tim. I wasn't paying attention. It usually does a thing, so it warns me, so I can tell you guys when there's going to be an ad. I need to get better at using the YouTube part of the interface, but I kind of just rely on the OBS thing. Well, I hope everybody had a reasonable time this time. Oh, we didn't really talk about Thanksgiving, did we? Yeah. It's coming up this coming Thursday, I guess. We're just going to do, family and food and the like, which I think is pretty much what most people do, but I don't think there's anybody coming in from out of town or anything, though, at least not that I'm aware of. And so we're going to do basic food, family, probably play some board games afterwards, that kind of thing. Oh, my eldest niece is going to be kind of in charge of cooking this year. She's been going to culinary school, so she's in charge of the menu this year. Anyway, there's more comments I need to. Well, I'm glad this was able to give you some relaxation and decompression and the like, Tim. And the brushing on the microphone, it's getting to the place that I kind of like doing it just because it's kind of oddly calming for me now to just do it, So anyway, yeah. Brush all the weird stress and anxiety and creepy, unpleasant thoughts and just brush all that nonsense out of there. Yeah, let's go get it over here, dude. Brushing out all the nonsenses. Maybe get a little relaxed, a little tingly. Yeah. If I can see out of my peripheral vision that there's comments happening, I should go check them out. Okay. Thanks, Kate Manda. Every day, dude, come on now. Every day is just nuts, man. Even if I had the stamina, I think you guys would get, that would be too much. A certain amount of bill is a good thing. A certain, then cross a line, and then it's just like, come on now. I mean, everything's like that. You have your limits, right? Okay, cool, Logan. I look forward to seeing you at the next stream. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wind this up, you guys. If there's any more last-minute comments, now's the time, because we're down to the 2-minute warning time. And let's see what we have here. That's funny. It's Call of Duty and ASMR stream. It's a pretty unusual combo, man. What do I usually do? Black Ops 6. Well, it depends. If I'm trying to do an ASMR video, that'll take up a big chunk of the day. Sometimes multiple days. Other than that, I try to do things around the house because stuff needs doing around the house, and then work on doing musical compositions and the like. So I spend a fair amount of time doing that. I spend a certain amount of time trying to, although not enough, doing physical stuff for my spine, but I'm doing okay. What is that? R7QK, although it's like 30 seconds away from the end of the stream now, so yep. So I think that's going to be it for today's stream, gang. Oh, and my pill alarm just went off too. Boy, I just have alarms after alarms going off all over the place here. Okay, well, I hope this was a good stream for everybody. We're coming down on 4, 3, 2, 1, and now the thing's going to go do its thing. So I will say, doink, there's that. All right. Okay, gang. That's going to be it for me tonight. I will see you guys. What did I say? It's the 7th of December. Is that right? Yeah, December 7th, 8 p.m. Well, that's just going to be the standard time now. So 8 p.m. December 7th. Aloha, siblings. I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.